with one L. And I don't think video games should be considered a sport necessarily. I think sports, by definition require physical exertion, and yes, like your fingers are moving on the controller, but I think it requires more of like a whole body exertion. And I mean, maybe if video games became competitions with virtual reality video games, I consider that a sport, because I feel like in that case you would use your whole body. But I think sitting down and playing video games, either on the computer or on a console, is not necessarily a sport. I mean, I definitely think video games have elements of sports. I think that, especially if it's competed with a team, that there's a lot of coordination that has to happen. There's strategy. There's definitely mental strain and endurance that you have to have. Definitely people who play video games abuse Adderall, similar to how athletes abuse steroids. Overall, I don't think so. I mean, I think if, it progresses into something that's paid maybe to the level of an athlete, because, I mean, I know I watched Super Smash Bros. Competitions, and those who win first place get a lot of money, but not anywhere near, like, the average football player or anything like that.
My name is Matt Stockton. I think video games should be considered a sport. People could argue that it doesn't have the physical aspect, but I think there's, practice, teamwork, people playing teams throughout different variations of video games. There's always like an end goal, a winner, a loser. There's always a winner, loser normally. There's a lot of effort that goes into the game, a lot of mental preparation. I mean, I would say there's a big, extent of coordination that's needed to play video games. I guess this could be an example. My dad, when he first, I tried to show him play video games, he was just spinning the controller around in the circle, couldn't really do anything. And I think that it does take, hand-eye coordination, games like Rocket League, where you have to know when to hit the ball, where to hit it, things like that, where it's really similar to, sports.
My name's Parker.
Hey, my name's Ryan.
I'd say we're pretty avid gamers, and we've grown up playing sports, but I don't think they go hand in hand, and video games are not sports. There's definitely a little crossover, but the physical exertion just isn't there, like in the definition of sports. I can kind of relate video games to maybe a band competition or a chess match, which are not considered sports. After further research and a little persuasion by JT,
We've come to the conclusion.
So games like chess and poker are considered sports because of their competitive nature, and because video games offer arguably more stimulating competitive nature. I think video games should be considered a sport.
I agree as well.
When I was younger, I would see video game competitions online and on TV, and they'd be on teams and they'd have to work together, and there's a lot of communication that goes into it and a lot of effort. I mean, after all, they're the best at what they do.
My brother was an avid gamer for a while. He used to watch all those people play sports.
I almost signed up for a local Madden competition at my local EB Games, but I never got around to that.
My name is Brian Starnes, and I believe that video games are a sport. There's a couple reasons why I believe that. One, it takes a tremendous amount of hand-eye coordination to be good at a video game. Two, there are leagues all around the world that prize money is substantially more than you will ever make in your life. You have to have a certain mindset when you're playing a video game, comparable to a sport, but not the same type of mindset. Use your strategy and hand-eye coordination to your advantage with your teammates. On the other side of things, I believe video games are not sports because it could take a very unathletic person to be good at video games. For instance, you could have a 300-pound, fat, obese person that is very good at a video game, however, is not considered an athlete in real life.
Hey, I'm Alex. I'd say video games I would consider them a sport because I think a sport is constituted by like a competition, and in any video game it is a competition, whether or not it's versus a computer or like another player online. But so I'd say I would consider it a sport. I don't think it needs to be physical to be considered a sport. I think there's enough coordination involved. You know, it's a skill. It's developed through practice. You know, it has all the properties of a sport.